friends, welcome to my humble homestead and garden side chat. I am just about out of my bug spray. I am going to make an updated version in it. I just want to add some extra scents to prevent the ticks and hopefully the fleas. I know I've been asking some of you what I can add to here that will help keep the fleas away, because the fleas have been biting me. But I was watching Living Traditions Homestead with Kevin and Sarah, and that's a really good channel if you guys want to watch. They have a lot of good information. But Kevin got really sick all of a sudden, and he realized that it was a tick bite and he had tick fever. And so he went to the doctor and ended up having to get on an antibiotic. He's doing well, thank goodness. With it becoming hot, it's July coming up here, we want to make sure that we do everything that we can to prevent ticks. Mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas, I don't have any cats, flies, to keep them from biting. So I'm also wanting to update and make a newer version. I will link the original one down there, but I had put like vodka in there, but I found in this one that I did, I just used rubbing alcohol. It worked just fine. So not to have to go and buy a bottle of vodka just to make my bug spray. So I will be making that in this video. So prevention is definitely the best way to avoid the devastating effects of Lyme disease and other tick-borne illnesses, such as Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Powassan, encephalitis, ehrlichiosis, and anaplasmosis, which are all forms of tick fever. That's even just to name a few. They all are transmitted by ticks. This means that any time that we're outside in tall grass, among lots of trees, or anywhere that ticks like to hang out, we always want to do a thorough check when we're back home and look everywhere. Deer ticks are super small and they're easy to miss. So the best way is always to prevent. If you can tuck your socks in, tuck your wear long sleeves if you can, but that's not always possible. And that's not always possible. So I try to add things to my homemade organic spray that deter ticks. I've also noticed those black flies that bite. They don't like a lot of the things that ticks like, and then also the mosquitoes. So when I made this spray, it really did good to keep the mosquitoes away, and I haven't had any ticks, 0 ticks. So I'm going to keep what's in here, and I'm just going to increase a couple things and add a couple things that I think might help keep these flies away as well. So the one thing that I know a lot of people use the citronella, but one thing that I add instead of the citronella is cedarwood. And I have my glasses so I can see what these are because I have them all out. And let me tell you, so I am making this for myself, and I'm just going to let you know the things that work in here. I'm kind of a little overboard. I'm just going to make sure that I can try to keep these away. So since I have all these, I'm adding them in. You can use what you have at home. I will stress the ones that are super important, I think, for the ticks, because that video that I watched from Kevin on what happened to him with the tick, I think it's important that we do what we can to prevent the ticks. And I, for one, hate mosquitoes, or mosquito bites. I'm sure God has them out there for a reason. So let's just keep those off. As well as I plant a lot of these herbs around my house. I plant the peppermint, the lemongrass, the marigolds, the catnip. All of these things I try to plant in my herb gardens. Plant the feverfew. They don't like that bitter smell of the feverfew, so I try to plant those around my garden. So these are things that you can also plant to try to help deter them away from your yard. Rosemary, but this is one that I put on myself, my clothes. I can spray a little in my hair, and it's all natural. You can use it on the children. Oh, there went my funnel as well. So, a lot of people say use the Deet or whatever, and I just honestly, I don't like to put chemicals on myself. Definitely, I don't want chemicals on my grandkids. And one thing I found that actually helped a lot and helped this bug spray work really well is first slathering my body up with some, and my grandson too, I did this with Peyton, putting our coconut oil on my skin first. So this is just an empty jar. Like this one's pretty much out of coconut oil. So what I do is I just keep this and I use this to take whatever's on the inside and I just rub this on myself and then I spray the bug spray on and it really kind of helps it stick on. Plus, a lot of the pests don't like coconut oil either. So that, and coconut oil has a little bit of SPF in it too. So many good things for that. So this is the one thing that I have found this year that has helped a lot. If I remember, I just got to remember to put it on before I go out. That has been my big thing. But now that it's getting hot and I saw that tick thing, I'm certainly going to make a bigger effort. So coconut oil and then the bug spray. So now that I'm out, I'm going to certainly do the things that, the scents and stuff that I know work. The first thing that works for ticks, mosquitoes, and black flies is the cedar oil. So I'm looking for that one. This one I'm going to use too. Definitely going to use lemongrass. Definitely going to use lavender. These all work. Now remember, peppermint. I have a big peppermint, so I'll probably use that big peppermint. Geranium works. Tea tree is a good one. I haven't decided because I'm going to use eucalyptus. Cedarwood. Okay, cedarwood is a big one. I'm probably going to end up ordering a big one of this too. So cedarwood oil, actually, you can even buy just cedarwood oil. Some people use just the cedarwood oil as ticks, a natural repellent. They just spray that on their clothes and stuff. But like I said, I like to make sure I keep all those pests away, so I add it into my homemade repellent. Another thing is that I'm actually not using, but if you don't have any of these essential oils and you want to keep the ticks and stuff away, you can use cayenne pepper. They do not like cayenne pepper. So you can take cayenne pepper and you can mix it either in, apple cider vinegar, or you can mix it in some distilled water. And you could spray that around the area or on your clothes because they do not like cayenne pepper as well. I have not tried that, but I did read that that is a good one. So if, we're just trying to use what we have at home. So if that's what you have, I would go ahead and try that. I'm just going to go over some different tick and insect repellents. So there is one here that has 9 drops of citronella, and I don't have the citronella. So like I said, I replaced my citronella with the cedarwood because I know that's, like I said, the cedarwood oil is a big one. 6 drops of tea tree. I do have the tea tree. 6 drops of peppermint oil. And a tablespoon of almond oil or like jojoba oil. Now you can probably use other oils that you don't think would go rancid. But what I actually do is I use some witch hazel. I use just a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Some recipes say use vodka if that's what you have in your house. But you want to use, just like, I make a big bottle. So I use like a half a cup of this and a half a cup of this, and then I use I'm probably going to put the rest of this bottle in, so like a third a cup of glycerin, which helps it all bind together. So that's what I use, and then my essential oils, and I will put some water in here too. That is one recipe that is online that you can use. Eucalyptus oil is also known as a very effective tick repellent. So yes, ma'am, I have, and sirs, there's a lot of sirs out there. I have some eucalyptus oil. Isn't this funny? Because I'm just throwing them all in there. And let me tell you, it smells really good to me. I'm glad that it doesn't smell good to the insects and the bugs and the ticks, because I'm like, hey, I don't mind this when I go out in the garden and having essential oils on. And then having the eucalyptus and the tea tree and the lemongrass, it's not bad for the boys either. So it's not, because, you can add lavender is another one that they don't like. So, if you want it more feminine, you can add more lavender. I try to add more of the lemongrass and the eucalyptus and the cedar wood and things that, you know, I think I'm going to add even extra cedar wood this time. I know that that's super effective, and I just want to make sure, and I want to keep those flies away. So that's what I'm really trying to do. Neem oil is another one. I do not have neem oil, but neem oil is a natural repellent for ticks. You can put, you know, in the palm of your hand, rub it on you, and that also helps keep the ticks away. Apple cider vinegar. So that is why I was thinking when I said I'm going to add water, I may, instead of add water, is I may add a little bit of diluted apple cider vinegar in here too, because it repels ticks. Ticks don't like apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar to the rescue again. It's like a wonder thing. So apple cider, so you can actually add 2 cups of water, 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of organic neem oil. That is another one that's just so, you know, if you have that in your house, that's one to try. I have not tried that one, but I might, like I said, add just a little bit of apple cider vinegar in here too. Eating garlic. Now, I've heard this forever. I do eat a lot of garlic, so I know that alone just does not work. But there's a lot of benefits to eating garlic, so I'm going to continue to eat garlic. I have no problem eating more. Garlic capsules can help if you don't like garlic. You know, if you eat a lot of garlic, I have to tell, I had, so I know somebody who like was using garlic as a natural antibiotic, and we told her to take a lot, and she's like, well, how much? So she took like half the bottle, and we literally could smell the garlic coming from her body. And so we're like, oh, we smell it. So if you eat enough of it or take enough of it, the garlic does smell, it does come through your pores, and ticks don't like that. So I do understand if you eat enough of it, they don't like the smell that you excrete. So that there is truth to the smell. So yeah, that's one thing. You know, it isn't super recommended to feed it to pets though. I do know that. So let me go ahead and make my spray, what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to grab some purified water out of my sink. So I have 2 cups here of water. Yeah, I think I'm going to do all 2 cups because I'd rather make more than less and have it because I will be using it all. So I'm going to put 2 cups of water in here. So it's about 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Probably about 1/4 cup. For the witch hazel, I'm going to put the glycerin in here. When I see my kids, I take what I make and I fill up their little bottle with it too so they can use it. Okay. And the witch hazel, the rubbing alcohol. Now let's go for what I'm going to put in for the essential oils. Cloves. Cloves is one that ticks do not like. I'm going to put a little bit of cloves in there. Cloves I use in my Miracle Joint and Muscle Rub. Oh, this little top is not wanting to go back in. So that is hilarious. It is not wanting to go in there, people. That is really funny. All right. Okay. And peppermint. I know mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas or flies do not like peppermint. And this I also use in my muscle and joint rub. That one stayed on. There you go. Okay, and then where's my cedar oil? I want to make sure I get plenty of that in here. Here's my cedar wood oil. Put a nice amount of that in there. Then lemongrass. Can't go wrong with lemongrass. I love the smell of lemongrass, and I know mosquitoes hate it. They say that ticks and flies hate it too, so I have no problem adding that. Oh, I love the smell of lemongrass. Okay. Then we are going to put some eucalyptus in here, which I love eucalyptus too. It's a good one, good decongestant as well. This is a good one for I use when I need breathing assistance. But I'm just going to put a little bit in here. I'm not going to put quite as much of the eucalyptus in here. I tell you, if this doesn't keep the bugs away, I'm going to put just a little bit of basil. Basil's supposed to help too, but I'm gonna put just a little bit in there. Bergamot, I'll put just a little bit of bergamot in there. That's more for the mosquitoes. And what's this one? This one is eucalyptus and rosemary. Yes, rosemary is a good one too. Rosemary, mosquitoes don't like rosemary. Now, I do have geranium and tea tree. Just a tad of tea tree. Okay, now I'm gonna put a little bit more witch hazel in here, and then I am gonna mix it up. I'm so excited to hopefully keep the ticks away. I mean, the flies away too, those black flies. And you do want to shake it every time you use it. Okay. Oh yeah, that smells good. I'm glad I can smell the lemongrass. And I just spray it all over myself like this. Before I go out, usually after I do the coconut oil, but I'm literally just running out to the grill. Yes, that smells good. I love it. So that is how I make my non-toxic bug spray. I will link the other one below that I did. No, it works great. The only thing I couldn't keep those black flies away. This one I do. I feel the minty on it. I like it from the peppermint and the eucalyptus. Love it. This one, I'm hoping that it keeps the black flies away. I'll keep you posted. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Be blessed. Have a great day. Bye.